So as we arrive to the last episode, I don't know if you were wondering about how the idea of the podcast just popped in my head. But before even talking about the podcast itself, let's talk about the language I'm speaking, which is the English. So as some of you just really don't know, English is not my native language. It's even the second foreign language speak in my country. So my journey had started might be since 2017 or 19 when I was in high school, and where I was first introduced to the language. So I had a really, really bad English, worse than this. Just believe me, it was worse than this. So I needed to work on myself. Starting the four things I really need to be not even improved, but just to start it, like speaking, writing, listening. And there is another one missing, like speaking, writing, listening, reading. Yeah, reading. So I just really worked on myself. The first thing I just really started to do is starting doing a lot of research. How can I learn English? And on YouTube, how can I learn English in 30 days? That kind of videos. How to introduce myself, and lots of common questions. So also following accounts on Instagram, the one where you will find how to say good night, stop saying no, and replace it with other alternatives. I was ready, and I'm always ready to learn. So that's why I was also seeking for someone to discuss with them in English, but I was not always that lucky. Sometimes it's about the time. I mean, not everyone is free to discuss with me. And there is some people who are free, but they don't like or don't even know or understand English. So there was kind of problems. I started with writing my thoughts in English in my personal journal, where my thoughts ran out to be a podcast at the end. Using translation, dictionary, and Googling some sentences. I started to write randomly about the big events on my day, the quotes, also writing new words and stories and a lot of things, because I just really need to practice writing. And there was sometimes I'm also giving to myself kind of assignments, write about this topic, etc., etc. Because I did all of this just to be more familiar with the English letters, words, sentences, the vocabulary. That's what I mean. So for me, the top tool after writing to learn this language is talking. Speaking is so important. I know you are you are really learning. You might be having thoughts in your head. You might be having discussions in your head, but you are not speaking. So talking to myself, by the way, when I'm saying speaking, at the first stage I'm saying talking to myself, not speaking to someone else, but at first talking to myself. And it might be whether in front of the mirror or while having a walk, preparing a meal, whatever you truly love and you feel comfortable with. So you might be receiving some kind of comments. Who are you talking with? What, are you crazy? And that's okay. And I really receive a lot of that kind of comments because they really find it very, very strange talking to myself like a crazy girl. But I just really I feel okay with that because I know what I'm doing. So also I have tried to watch English movies, TV shows without the translation, and also listening to TikToks all the podcasts, reflect on the topics and success stories as well. Whatever you loved in English, it's very important to you so you can really feel more familiar with that language. And there is another tool is saying that it's a tool, which is the challenges. So the challenges are very important to learn the language. It might be about speaking, writing, or reading, or listening, or whatever. But for me, it was in the first place, as I have said, it was for speaking and writing. And also for reading and listening as well. So the first challenge for me was a private one, which was about recording myself talking for at least 10 minutes about a random topic or a certain topic, whether it was something happened to me or an interesting topic, as I have said. Yet it might be saying why you have decided to record yourself in a form of video, because it's really important to see how my body speaks as well. How I am articulating, how am I speaking. So for me, it was all in one, and it was all important. And the second challenge was, I asked my friend if she wants to join me through this challenge, to go all together to learn English, and because she was also learning the language. So the challenge was speaking English whenever we are together, because we went together on the same road to home. You might be really laughing, but we say 2 words in English and the rest of our discussion with our native language. And it's very normal because we feel stuck. I will say hello, how are you? Or talk about some certain topic, but there is a certain vocabulary that we will use, and we need to translate. It might take time. It might really take time while being on the road to home, so we don't have enough time. And also the challenge went with us in the social media by sending textos and vocals in English. But this is only the motivation at the beginning, because with the time, with starting being more busy and having other things to do in life, sending vocals over than 2 minutes, you might be even saying 2 minutes, it's not that much, but for us, that time was a bit very, very heavy. Yes, that's the word. And, day by day, we left challenge, to be honest. But it's a normal thing, because we are not an English, native speaker. We are only learning. So she also did something very important, which is introducing to me an exchange program, which was really, really important through this journey to develop my English, because I was speaking with native English speakers and overcoming my fears to speak in front of someone else in English. So it was really, really important. And another friend, there is a beautiful thing that I really have noticed is that I'm mentioning friends. So that's why it's really important for you to choose friends that will be helping you to develop. You will help them also to develop, but helping each other, it's really important. It's really important to select friends, because not everyone is your friend. Not everyone wants good for you. So that's why please be very, very selective in terms of friends, because they will impact you in whatever way you might ever imagine in your life. So continue my story. One of my friends that I knew in 2019, when I had started the journey of learning, I can't deny that she was a factor to push me and motivate me to learn English, talking about its importance and about being the future's language. So, however, it wasn't until later that I truly become passionate and about mastering this language. I realized that it was the key to unlocking a world of opportunities for academic pursuits and to professional advancement as well. And the dream become more bigger and bigger and bigger than I have ever thought before. I was still interested to learn this language. And I know, I'm very aware that I only know a drop of this ocean called English. And which is a very, very, a push for me to really know and to be very humble in this journey, to always remind myself that I only know just a small part of a very, very big part. A very big part, yeah. So what I really want to say here is that, when you're suffering and appreciating the process, you want to help others and share what you have learned. So that's what I have started with my microenvironment these 2 last summers, especially with kids. Sometimes trying to show them the importance of this language, trying sometimes to practice with them, give them a little bit of some lessons or something like that. But just sometimes. So that's why I found an inspiration in the idea of helping others who might be embarking on their own English learning journeys. Sharing my experiences and offering encouragement become a driving force for me and to really start this podcast. And yeah, talking about a podcast. So the podcast, it was just in my way in this journey of learning. So yeah, while seeing my writings on my desk, I decided why not sharing it with you, through this podcast. So it's another way, for me first, to more develop my English and other skills, which are searching, writing, speaking, and also sharing. Sharing is very important. It becomes a skill, by the way. I'm just kidding. So honestly, at the beginning, I wasn't that sure. If I'm able to start this journey, if I'm up to it, because I'm a person that when I'm engaged to something, I give it its time. I start to always be shown in my to-do list. So I was I need at the beginning to start with a logo, a name. Okay, I'm gonna start the podcast. What am I what I will be saying? What I will share, because I just really don't want to waste someone else's time, because time is so precious. My time is so precious, so yours as well. And the most important thing is the start. That's the key. But okay, there's a fun fact, which is it takes me almost 2 years to start, because I was always always procrastinating. Procrastination was present, to be honest, was always there, because I would be I have started since maybe years ago. Who knows? Even now you might be saying I don't post so much, so many episodes. It's all about procrastination. Okay, we are dealing with it. However, so yeah, there's another thing, which is, I don't know if you are also willing to start a podcast. You are in your own learning journey of a language or something else, of a skill, of whatever. You might be like having difficulties. And I only want to say to you, it's a very, very normal phase in this process. The process starts like even before it starts. It starts when you think about it, when you start it, and this life is really known with its ups and downs. So difficulties will be, as facility will be, success will be, results will be, and difficulties as well. So it's like an equation, like you will always find difficulties to have a certain balance, if you were to say. And another thing is that I don't know about you as well in this thing, but doubting yourself or having a doubt on yourself might be very normal at the beginning, because you cannot really see the concrete results right now, but in long term, or in long term, you might be very seeing it, which is something very, it's like an investment, if you want to say. That's it. And while seeing the results, or even just starting, you will really boost your self-confidence. And there's another thing about the language that I just really have forgot to mention, is that you might be meeting some people who will mock you while speaking because you are a very beginner speaker. But I don't know if you could really remind those people that once they were just like you. So if you are very a good speaker, if you want to say, please don't mock others just because you are a very good speaker, because one day you were like that as well. So please appreciate everyone's process. So yeah, the idea of my podcast, as you guessed, sparked during my own English learning journey. As I delved into research and writing, I realized the immense value of sharing my experience, humble experiences and thoughts that write out of my personal journal with you. So yeah, I really hope to inspire you to persevere, embrace challenges, whatever challenges you are facing in your life, and believe in your own ability. So the idea in general was a result of a lot of factors that motivated me to start this journey. So as we arrive to the last episode in the first season of so many that will become, and I really want to say that I'm so thankful to you. Thank you so much for your support, because as you might be realizing now, that your feedbacks are my source of motivation. Thank you so much. And as every time, I would be so grateful if you leave a nice review or a comment if in our platforms, not only if you like this episode, but this podcast. And yeah, that was all of me today. See you next time. Goodbye.